What's up guys, it's BT here, and this is a review of the G-Wolves Skoll Ace Edition mouse. Now, a lot of my amazing subs out there, you guys were tagging me on Twitter, telling me about the G-Wolves mouse, telling me to check it out, that you wanted a review. So that led to X-Ray Pad reaching out to me and saying, hey, do you want to test out the G-Wolves Skoll mouse? So I obliged and they sent one out to me, and I have never been so wrong and so blown away by a mouse. So today I'm going to be going over what I love about this mouse and why it is so good. For those of you guys out there that have been wanting an ergo lightweight mouse, this is it. Before we begin though guys, shout out to X-Ray Pad for sending me out this mouse. Amazing company. All these opinions are my own. They're not owned by G-Wolves. They just carry the mouse, so there's no need for me to lie about this mouse or do any fluff or anything like that. This is going to be the real deal. They told me to give them real feedback on this mouse so they can improve on the mouse before the final mouse comes out. This is actually a test version of the mouse, but it was so good and I'm so excited to share it with you guys that I couldn't wait, and I had to make a review on it as soon as possible. Now, before we begin with the unboxing, can we just all take a second to admire how beautiful this box is? It comes in a tin-like lunchbox container and it looks absolutely sick. It feels like you're getting a collector's edition mouse, and I feel like you could just put this on your shelf and have it as a little collector's item, and it looks absolutely sick in my opinion. And for $60, it's really cool that they put in that much detail into this mouse. Now, upon opening the mouse, you're gonna find some paperwork, and you're also gonna find some extra mouse feet, which is always nice, and some wipes so you can clean it off before you put on those new mouse feet. Also in the box, to my surprise, they added in an extra paracord, and I was not expecting that. They are really appealing to us mice enthusiasts out there. So let's talk about the design of this mouse. Now, for color, it's got gray at the mouse 1 and 2, and it fades to black on the back. It's very tastefully done. It looks absolutely sick in my opinion. It's got an ergonomic shape for you right-handers out there. It's very similarly shaped to the EC2B. I'm gonna throw up the stats right now so you guys can see the difference. So a little bit bigger on the size, and it also fills out your hand a little bit more than the EC2B. It's not as big as the EC2A, so keep that in mind. It's right in between, so it'll work for both users of those mice. Now, the EC2B is actually 90 grams, and this one is coming in at 66 grams. So sexy. This mouse is going to work best with palm, relaxed palm, claw, relaxed claw. It's not the best for fingertip grip because of the little ledge in the front, so I wouldn't recommend it. They do have another Haiti version coming out in September that's going to be ambi for you aggressive claw or fingertip grip users, so don't feel left out. Your time is coming, ambi users. So in my time in using this mouse, I predominantly use palm grip. My hands are 19 by 8.5 centimeters, and it was an absolute dream. The EC2B was a little bit short for me, and my fingertips would hang over the edge just slightly. With this one, there's none of that. It fits damn near perfect. I'd say if you're like 18 by 8 centimeters or above, you're good. If you go over like a 22 by 10 centimeters, you might be in the danger zone, so keep that in mind. There's 4 mice feet on the bottom, although I feel like they could have moved the front left one a little bit out a little bit more, because when you press it in a certain way, the mouse on the back right kind of tilts up a little bit, and I only noticed that happening sometimes. It didn't affect my gameplay or it didn't throw me off, but it's something that I noticed when I was clicking down on the mouse 1. Also on the bottom of the mouse, they have 2 buttons to let you control the DPI. The scroll wheel is nice and big and defined, which is nice. You can also click it and it has a nice click. Very nice. There's also a G-Wolves logo right above the scroll wheel, which is very tastefully done in my opinion. And like I mentioned earlier, this mouse also comes with a paracord. It's a little bit stiffer than your normal paracord though. It's just a little bit tighter of a weave overall, but when I press the cord against it like I did a paracord, only near the rubber at the very front of the mouse did this mouse start to really have the cord affected. And the paracord on this mouse just disappears when you're actually using it in real time. So when we're dealing with these light mice, one of the most important aspects of these mice has to be their structural integrity, and this mouse has some of the best side panels in the game. There is no flex whatsoever, because we all have been there where we're in a tense situation and we need to grab onto our mouse, make sure we have complete control, and we're squeezing the living hell out of our mouse, and this mouse has held up amazingly well. The only place where I felt a little bit of flex was on the bottom near the back two mouse feet. So that's something to take into consideration if you're a person that gets upset and slams down their mouse. But for the rest of us that are just using it normally and can control our emotions, this mouse will hold up just nicely for you. All right, so you guys know what time it is now. It is time for that sound test of the mouse 1 and 2. These have Omron switches and they sound great. There's little to no play on the mouse 1 and 2. Let's do the sound test. Oh yeah. Very nice. So let's talk about the side buttons a little bit. Now there's little to no play. You do have to press them in slightly to get them to register, not as much as like a Zowie mouse. They're not as big as like an EC2B, so keep that in mind if you're a person that likes really big ones, but I feel like Logitech has the best ones. These are somewhere in between. They're also easy to reach with your thumb and not too far forward, which is nice. So let's drop another sound test for you guys. Very nice and clicky, not mushy at all. Very nice, very solid. Along the bottom side of the mouse, they have two parallel lines for the RGB, which is also very tastefully done in my opinion. The RGB can be controlled in the software, which is nice. They've got where you can choose a solid color for your setup or a wave color. My favorite is the hold on mode, where if you press the mouse 1 and 2, it reacts and it shoots down a RGB line down the side of your mouse, which is really, really cool in my opinion. Also in the software, you can change the DPI steps, you can change the polling rate, all that good stuff. You can make macros. The usual suspects are all in there and ready to go for you. It's got the top of the line 3360 sensor. It performs great on all surfaces like my Glide 38, Shidenkai, Raiden, you name it, this thing will perform on it. It goes up to 12,000 DPI, so that's gonna cover pretty much everyone. So what G-Wolves has done is they've listened to the community, right? They know what's popular. They took one of the most popular shapes in the history of mice, right? Tweaked it a little bit, right? Made it fill out your hand a little bit more. They put in a 3360 sensor, a paracord, and then made it 66 grams and said, guys, go to work. And guys, when I tell you this, you know, people say, oh, you always say this mouse is the best. This is the best. Guys, listen to me. Okay, I picked up this mouse. Usually what I have to do is I have to go in, I have to tweak my DPI when I get a new mouse. I have to tweak my in-game setting for my sensitivity. With this mouse, I picked it up and I just started to game. And this thing, my aim from the first game that I used this mouse was just incredible. I am a straight beast with this mouse. It performs perfectly. This is just a test unit. So if they're gonna do something or add something, or I don't know what, they're already just pretty much messing. They're on the verge of perfection. I think if they move that mouse foot out a little bit on the front edge here, I think that's going to get rid of that tilting a little bit. But for me, it really didn't affect me in game, but it could for some of you guys out there, so keep that in mind. But for me, the comfort mixed with the great sensor mixed with the lightweight, I can game for hours. There's no harsh edges on the hexagons. This thing, when you lay your hand on it, you're not gonna pick up your hand and there's going to be an imprint of the hexagons. No, none of that. And it may seem like I'm hyping up this mouse. You may not believe me, right? But if you're following me on Twitch, okay, if you were listen to me on Twitch, I was not excited about this mouse. But now that I have it in my hands and I've been gaming with it, I was wrong. Okay, I should have given it a chance. This thing has exceeded my expectations. And for those of you guys out there that have been waiting for an Ergo lightweight mouse, this is the time to get it. And for $60, what they're giving you here, they're giving you an enthusiast mouse, and at a great price point of $60. It's hard to find fault with this, you know, just moving that mouse foot out, like I said, and it will be perfect in my opinion. All right, guys, so that's going to do it for this review of the G-Wolves Skoll Ace Edition. Amazing mouse. If you guys are looking for a lightweight ergo mouse, highly recommended by me. If you don't care about wireless, like a G703, if you don't care about that, the paracord is amazing on this mouse. It feels like you're wireless pretty much. Anyways, guys, it has been your boy BT. I hope you guys have enjoyed this review. If you have any more questions about this mouse, let me know down below, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.